political and economic dominance. The Philippines is making sure it is not left behind, and more Asians, and executives in particular, are choosing the Philippines to provide the educational backbone to their career growth.
The importance of Asia for company expansion cannot be underestimated. When China entered the WTO, it shook up the whole world, frankly, in terms of expansion. Watching China grow and the rest of Asia grow has been very revealing of where the future will be. Companies who are expanding in Asia are moving very quickly. In fact, one of the limiting factors is their talent acquisitions. And what I see now is applicants are coming from all over the world. Not only do they want to study Asia, study in Asia, but they want to work in Asia. There's a lot of optimism here. We talk about the four tigers. I just read an article from one of the investment analysts that Philippines could be the fifth tiger.
Being an entrepreneur in the Philippines means tapping into a latent consumer market of almost 100 million people and the entire ASEAN community.
If you are English speaking, the Philippines is one of the few countries in the world that can speak English to any foreign visitor in the country. But in everything about the Philippines is whatever bad news you've heard, it has changed a lot, a whole lot of difference. And I should say, if anyone has come to the Philippines already, you can always ask them. They probably said a lot, they probably experienced a lot of nice things here. And they will be your biggest source of information.
The province of Palawan, known as the Philippines' final frontier, it is the country's most sparsely populated region and one of the most enchanting places on the planet. It is also a potential gold mine for one of the world's most precious resources, hydrocarbons. The groundwork is now being laid for a more stable and profitable oil and gas industry by opening up production blocks in regions such as Palawan, which stretch far into the West Philippine Seas. Several multinational companies have reported considerable progress in both surveying and exploration of the country's hydrocarbon deposits.
We actually have done a lot of geological and geophysical investigations of the offshore Palawan, and we feel that it's got very large potential. There's one giant field at the moment which is under production, and that's the Malampaya field. We actually produce oil out of a smaller field, the Gaelic field, which we're going to double production next year. It's been overlooked. So what we've done over the last period is we've invested a lot of money in geophysical and geological studies. We've also drilled a number of wells, and interestingly enough, I mean, in offshore Palawan, there's a very high success rate. However, to date, a lot of the finds have been relatively modest. But with oil now at $100 a barrel, there's more impetus to develop these smaller discoveries. But in the deeper waters offshore Palawan, we've identified, and other companies have identified, very large structures with multi-billion barrel of oil potential, and these are what we're chasing.
My Philippines, a personal look at what makes the Philippines special to the people that live there.
My Philippines is all about passion for culinary excellence. I've been a food enthusiast for 25 years and a restaurateur for 15, and I bring this passion to the Philippines through all my restaurant outlets and my projects. National identity has always been a challenge for us, and I feel that this has cascaded down all the way to our cuisine. But I know that slowly the world is starting to take notice. We just need to be united in our passion to make sure that our cuisine takes its rightful place in the global stage. The best way to understand the uniqueness of the Philippines and the Filipino is through its food. My country is going through an amazing culinary renaissance, and I'm proud to be part of it. This is my Philippines.
7,107 islands, most of them uninhabited. The Philippines has the capacity and potential to become one of the most prominent tourism destinations in Asia. The government has revised a development agenda that identifies segments with high potential, one that focuses primarily on expanding neighboring Asian markets.
The Philippines is today run by what everyone concedes is the most tourism-oriented government in Philippine history. Tourism is about counting the jobs that it's going to generate for our people and the business opportunities it's going to generate for people on the ground. Okay? It is, in a very real sense, a statement that says that tourism will now and forever be the people's business. Previous to that, tourism was thought of simply as an economic activity that Filipinos who cared to would engage in. Today, by virtue of that declaration on open skies, on creating jobs with it, we are committed to turning tourism into a major national industry.
What drives people to return time and time again is the intrinsic human experience. Forbes magazine called the Philippines the friendliest country in Asia, and the ever-present smile and constant happiness of the Filipino people, even in the face of adversity, is contagious.
The Philippine experience is unlike any other, not because of the white beaches or the volcanoes or any country can have those. It is a participative or inclusive experience. In other words, it is intense. Filipinos are wired to make people really feel as friends. That's what the Philippines is all about. It is more fun because it's not just watching. It's not just what you saw, it's who you were with when you saw it that makes the difference. The Philippines is great to visit for that alone. We are a live museum of how a free democracy builds itself. It's not easy, but it's terrific fun to watch because on some days it's clumsy, on some days it's the most inspiring show on earth.
A strong national identity combined with 300 years of Spanish rule and 50 years of American occupation have defined the Filipino people. Although famous for its tropical islands and turquoise waters, the Philippines offers an eclectic mix of landscapes and destinations. Variety is the spice of life here, and exploring it is truly a privilege for travelers.
You get to experience beautiful beaches and the hotels and the services that are provided. It's easy, and that was what I never dreamed that the Philippines was like. So I've been pleasantly surprised. I think the Philippines is a hidden treasure, and slowly but surely the lid is starting to be lifted off, and it's becoming more known to the world. So, and I'm lucky to have experienced it here and living here for the last couple of years.
An international marketing campaign headed by the slogan, "It's more fun in the Philippines," was launched with great success. While the last decade has not been kind to the country's tourism image abroad, the government is counting on Filipinos to be the nation's prime ambassadors.
I think the time has come for Filipinos and all people who love the Philippines everywhere to stop agonizing over its so-called bad image. When enough people take it as a matter of responsibility, loyalty, or even just as a plain matter of love, to talk about the good things about the Philippines, we will balance out the picture and the truth will emerge. The Philippines is as worthy of a visit from any country.
The Philippines is experiencing a political and economic resurgence that, when followed through, will turn the nation into the global player that it aims to be. It is not just learning from the mistakes of the past, but also driving the present with good governance and business prudence. The world watches as the Philippines moves forward.
Nothing is impossible. As long as the people are united, focused, we will get there.